Happy Friday, everyone. It's time for a week-ending podcast. And on today's show, we're going to get all caught up because guess what? Next week is a special holiday week. There's American Thanksgiving. There's my annual Black Friday marathon. And we haven't really talked about this, have we? So today on the show, we will plan out what's going on and get caught up on the status of all the different playthroughs that I'm working on right now, because we actually have some big updates. And also, if you're not aware, the Golden Joystick Awards happened. So maybe we'll take a look at that, all right? It's a nice, relaxing day. There's nothing crazy going on. We're going to have fun Pokemon. We're going to finish Leave It Alone later tonight. Maybe a little bit of chill with Phil. And the podcast is very much a nice, relaxing atmosphere. So just sit back and enjoy the ride on today's very autumn chill episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Alrighty, everyone. So it is Friday, the 21st of November, 2025. Time is a-flying. I mean, it's 1 week away from Black Friday. It's less than a week from American Thanksgiving. It's crazy because it didn't feel like that, did it? And all of a sudden I turn around and I look at it, what day is it? Like, what the? Really, this month got away from me, to be honest. I feel like normally this is something that we would have been planned on working. We would have already known what's going on Thanksgiving. What are we doing specifically on Black Friday? It all would have been laid out. And now, here we are, week away, not even, and we don't really know what's going down. So today we're going to talk. We're going to try to figure this out. I have some good ideas, I think, that would make it pretty fun. And I hope that you guys will throw me your ideas of what exactly it is that you would like to see coming up this week. You know, we already know what's happening earlier in the week, you know, all the way through Wednesday. Basically, normal gameplay streams, the special interview on Monday. If you want to know the details about that, check out the featured video on this channel, DSPGaming on YouTube, for your answer, okay? But outside of all of that, what about the end of the week? It's very much going to be a weird week with two holidays at the end of it that we're going to be celebrating, okay? So we'll talk about that a little bit. Also, I want to get you guys caught up because we have some playthroughs that have finally resumed, which is great, but they didn't do so well, and now I'm hoping that we can get momentum back for them. And, of course, we want to talk about what? What do you want to talk about? We'll do some Q&A. But there's also Golden Joystick stuff as well. This other independent kind of game award show that happens every year. It's internet-based. It's not big like the Game Awards that have a big show that's broadcast. But we can briefly take a look at those results as well. So, like I said, a chill day. This is not anything that's like a super crazy, oh my goodness, we have to cover 400 important topics kind of a day. It's more of a laid-back day, okay? All right, how's everyone doing this morning? Let's see who we got. We got Green Guardsman, Chris, Apollo, C. Smith Art, World Weather Authority. How you guys doing on the YouTube side? On the Kick side, who do we got? 1986, I Love You, RGB King, username already taken, 220, One Trick Pony Noodles, don't ask me what that means, Todd, and rank 2 in Raid Shadow Legends. If you're rank 2 in Raid Shadow Legends, good lord. I'm sure you must have invested a lot of time and money into that because that's probably the biggest, most advertised mobile game, right? Like, they probably have the most sponsorships to try to get people to to play it of any like mobile game. So there you go. Jade, good morning. Good to see you. Quinn, how are you? How's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well. All right. So today, let's talk about a few things to get caught up to end the week because I haven't done a podcast in several days now. To be honest, it works. When I'm not doing the podcast, we do like a half an hour hangout, and then I get basically an extra hour of gameplay in. Particularly with certain games like the Pokemon playthrough. We're now around 40 hours into that. Are you aware of that? That's because several days when I'm playing it, I don't do a podcast. It allows me to get that extra time in, and it's really helped. Otherwise, we probably would have been way further behind in that playthrough, but it's working well, and I'm happy that we're putting that extra time in so that we don't end up playing Pokemon for like 4 months. You know what I mean? So it definitely works. And then when I have a time like today on the podcast, instead of being like, well, I have one topic and then we just kill time, instead we have a bunch of stuff to catch up on. So it's working. I would definitely love your feedback on it. Do you like having the podcast, 3 times a week rather than the 6 I used to do? Let me know your thoughts, all right? The thing is, if people have stuff to talk about, usually we talk for like 20, 30 minutes before any gameplay stream if I'm not doing a podcast, and it gets that stuff out of the way anyway, all right? Okay, before we get to playing and stuff, let's talk about what's going on currently with all the games that I'm playing, get caught up, and let you know how things are going. Okay, so first off, 2 games returned to the rotation this week, if you're not aware. First of all, Super Mario Galaxy 2 came back. And with it returning, it was good to get a platformer throwback style game into the rotation. It was pretty good. We had decent attendance. We hit the support goal for that day. I made good progress in the game. In fact, I think we hit World 6, and people are saying World 6 is almost the final world. It looks like it is, but then there's a secret world after that. But of course, then you still have to go back and get all the secret stars and everything. So we're doing pretty good. I'd say we're probably around 2/3 through the game of Mario Galaxy 2. And I like the game still. I'm happy that I brought it back and people showed up for it. So that's good. And that's going to remain in the rotation. But again, I just want to urge everyone to understand that is very much the game that's kind of like the game to fill in between other stuff and break stuff up. It's a throwback game. It's not a new release or anything. So we play it when time permits. We're in no rush. Like I could literally play that once a week if I want for the next 2 months. You know what I'm saying? But I think that we will probably try to play it more often than that. So that came back and was pretty good. All right. By the way, thank you. Jade says I look good with my sweater today. This sweater is 20 years old. I'm not kidding. This sweater, does it look it? Does this sweater look 20 years old? 20 years old. I bought it when I had my office job at the helicopter support company. And I would say I wore it one year during like the fall, winter. And then after that, maybe a little bit more. And that was it. It sat in a drawer for years and years. You may have noticed if you go back in time over the course of my YouTube history, very few times I've worn it, maybe just a couple. So now it's in the rotation. I started wearing it again last year when I started wearing different stuff for the fall and winter, and it'll be in the rotation now. So there you go. Okay, so thanks for asking. That's one game. Okay, so to be honest, Mario is good. I'm liking it. I can't wait to play more of it. It'll be in the rotation. Now, let's talk about last night. Last night, I brought back Tormented Souls 2. Now, this playthrough's had some issues. All right, first off, Tormented Souls 2 came out in the middle of October, perfect timing. Or was it? Because it came out in the middle of October, I was trying to balance it with a whole bunch of other games that were getting more attention. People wanted me to finish Silksong. People wanted me to play, other more prominent games that were out at the time. And, I was trying to juggle a lot. And because of that, Silksong essentially didn't really do so well. Excuse me, not Silksong. Tormented Souls 2 didn't really do so well. What I mean by that is we would get attendance, but it wasn't like great. And also we had a few times when we played it when it was like near hitting a support goal, but we wouldn't hit the support goal. Now, because of that, because everything else was kind of becoming more prominent, at one point we were only playing the game like once a week. Okay? Then I started to bring it more into the schedule as we beat other games. Like, you remember, we finished Silksong and stuff. Okay, now we can play it more. But then what happened was the game had a hard lock last week because of a game bug. And now I'm starting to see some of the drawbacks of being a PC gamer, playing a PC game at launch. You get all these bugs that, especially when it's like a smaller indie studio like this one, making Tormented Souls 2, there's nothing you can do. Your hands are tied. You just got to sit around and wait. And in this case, it was over a week. We had to wait for them to patch the game to fix it so that we could play it again. So the good news is they did patch it. They did actually fix the game, and we can now play. And I'm happy about that, really. Like, that's I want to play it, and I'm enjoying it. Last night, we picked up where we left off, and man, what a stream it was. So basically, I had no way to save the game. Because of this game bug, I had wasted multiple save items trying to get this puzzle to work and save my progress. And I put myself in a really, between a rock and a hard place. I had to do an extended length of story with a boss fight, and I couldn't save the game. Then we headed into a new area, and I still couldn't save the game. So it was like over an hour of playing, and everyone was biting their fingernails. Am I going to all of a sudden die out of nowhere and then have to start the game from the beginning of when I had started playing last night over completely, which would have been a nightmare. The good news is I persevered. I survived. And I was able to get to the next area of the game, the schoolhouse. We saved up, and now we're in a whole new dungeon. This is like the next to last area. I think there's a school, and then there's one more after this, and that's the end of the game. So we made it. It was actually a pretty suspenseful, tense stream because of that. So if you like survival horror, last night's stream was a great one, okay? But I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed because we had less attendance and definitely less support than the game had been getting previous. And I'll be honest, I think it's a direct result of the game taking so long. This is the game that we didn't play as much for a long time. Then when I finally said, okay, we're going to play it more, then it went on hold for a whole week because of a game bug. So it's frustrating to me because it's a good game. Like, I'm actually enjoying it. Again, this game is meant to be an homage to classic survival horror. It's got the fixed camera angles. It's got enemies that jump out of the dark at you. It's got limited items, limited saving, kind of like the old school games. So it's tense because of that. But it is frustrating when I'm trying to get games in the rotation that people want when I can't get people to come back because the thing was on hold for a week and it wasn't my fault. So I would hope that now it's back in the rotation. People will see that the videos are there. Oh, okay. Now I know to look for it in the rotation again. And hopefully we will get people to come back and actually, watch and play. And so I can enjoy the game again. Okay. And also, I'll be honest, I hope there's not another hard lock bug in the game. That would suck. Imagine that. Imagine if I go to play the game and now we get to like another part and we're stuck again. I really hope not. I hope that they've now solved all of these issues. So now here's the thing. It's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not like the stream was a disaster, but there was a distinct decline in viewership and support, and that pisses me off. It does. It's disappointing. So what to do about it? Well, there's a couple things. Number one, I'm not taking it out of the rotation. I like the game, and we've already played it something like 12, 13, 14 hours. No, actually, I think now we're over 15 hours in, now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm not dropping the game or anything. Okay, I just want to make that clear. What we're going to do is play it again on Sunday night. I think Sunday night. Or is it Sunday night? I think it's Monday night, now that I'm thinking about it. Let me double check that. I don't want to. Yeah, we're going to play it again Monday night on the late stream, okay? Now, number one, I would hope that now people will show up and support it because now you know that it's happening again, okay? But number two, I'm going to make an offer. I have no idea if this is going to come through or not. Really, to be frank with you, I don't think it will. But today, we're doing an ultimate chill day, right? Today's relaxed, laid back. Here's what I'd like to do today. Typically, daytime streams of Pokemon Legends ZA do really well. Usually we hit our support goal pretty easily. Some days we even end up like exceeding it. All right. So what I would like to do today is say this. If we hit our goal for today's stream of Pokemon and the podcast, okay? If we get a little extra, I'll count it towards as if it was last night's stream. Last night we ended the stream at $90 of support out of the 150 goal. So let's say today we hit the 150 goal. Great. Anything we make over the goal, I'm going to count as if it was last night's stream. That means if you like Tormented Souls 2 and you couldn't be here last night for it, you can actually contribute to that goal right now. Okay? But we have to hit our first goal today first, and then we'll see how it goes after. All right? I don't know how long it'll take for us to hit our goal today on the stream. There's no guarantee we will hit the goal today on the stream. I'm just saying, usually for Pokemon, we hit it. Usually it's something that's an easy win because people have really liked the Pokemon playthrough. They like naming Pokemon for a $20 contribution. It's pretty much a easy thing to do. So let's see how it goes today. All right. Once we hit that goal, we'll talk about it again and say, hey, another $60. We'll act like, this is from last night and we'll count it as another goal. Because in truth, we had great momentum this week. And then all of a sudden, all right, we did not hit our goal playing Baby Steps. And that was disappointing. The game was basically not that good. After a half an hour, it got incredibly boring, and it kind of derailed the momentum that we had this week. Now we bring back Tormented Souls 2, and another extenuating circumstance like, oh, man. So let's see what happens. Can we hit the goal for Pokemon today? Can we get a little bit extra? Can we hit that double goal on today's stream to make up for last night? Let's see. All right, so that's what I'm doing. And like I said, Tormented Souls 2 will continue next week. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, so before we get on to our next topic, which will be planning for this coming week, where there's 2 special events coming up, let's do a couple quick shout-outs, shall we? So first off, our first contribution of the day is from 220. Thank you, 220, for the first gifted sub of the day. Appreciate that. Then, hold on a second here. I received a $50 tip for this stream. Awesome. Hold on one second. Let me find oh, here it is. I moved the animations tab because it had crashed the other day. Okay, $50 tip. So, from Gary Oak. Gee, that name sounds familiar, doesn't it? Gary Oak says, have a Pikachu or Raichu named Bolta. You're the best, Phil. Cool. I don't know if we have a Pikachu or Raichu as of yet in the Pokemon playthrough. We had one, but I believe we traded it. I'm pretty sure we don't have it in the party anymore. But that doesn't mean we can't catch one. We already have a wild area that I believe has both. So today, I guess that's our first agenda in Pokemon Legends ZA, is we will go to the area, catch a Pikachu or Raichu, name it Bolta. And yes, thank you so much for $50 of support. That's a huge jump forward on our goal. And remember, when I play Pokemon, guys, if you do a $20 or more contribution, you can name a Pokemon, and that Pokemon will go into the party for that stream. So we will have a Pikachu or Raichu in the party today. Thank you so much. Excellent. Okay. 220 says, good morning, King. It's been 2 weeks since we went full siege mode on Kick Chat. Have we redeemed ourselves? It's like I said, that was on me. That was not on you guys. I mean, yes, you guys troll me in the Kick Chat, but like I said, that's the point. If you haven't noticed, I allow many of you to troll me in the Kick Chat, and I don't care. If you're going to troll me, that's the place to do it. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean really abusive behavior and doxing and personal insults, but if you want to razz me or whatever, that's the place to do it. I was just not in a good mood 2 weeks ago. Some stuff had gone down, and I was all stressed out, and I basically lashed out on people in the Kick Chat, and I shouldn't have done that. And again, I've already apologized, but I'll say it again. I'm sorry that I did that. That was stupid. Oh, so I gave you highlighted messages, and then support was dried up for a little bit, so I freaked out. Like, why? It wasn't. Here's the thing, and here's why this really annoys me with myself. Things were going good anyway. Like, okay, so there wasn't a lot of kick support for a few days, but I was still hitting my goals. I was still doing well. So why am I upset? Again, it really wasn't the streams. It was other shit going on. And that's what happened. Like, it just drove me nuts. So because of that, I lashed out, and I shouldn't have done that. And again, I apologize to anyone, in the Kick Chat who maybe got rubbed the wrong way, or I banned it, because I brought back a lot of the people who I had banned during that couple of days, and it was on me. Okay? Excuse me. So I hope that we're all good. I mean, it's been a couple of weeks now removed, right? So hopefully you guys are all good. It doesn't seem anyone really is upset anymore. That's good. Okay. All right. Excellent. Now, so thank you for the early support, 220, and thank you so much, Gary Oak, for a generous $50 tip. When we hit 150, we're at that goal. And like I said, if we get another 60 on top, I'll count it as a second goal. All right. As if we had hit our goal yesterday. Okay. There you go. All right. Now, uh, okay. So here's the deal, guys. Time has flown. All right. The current playthroughs I'm doing are doing pretty good. For example, Pokemon's doing great. Every time I play Pokemon, we got people naming Pokemon, engaging, supporting, helping me with the gameplay. It's great. So I don't know how much longer the Pokemon playthrough is going to go on, but it's doing really good. Call of Duty in general is also doing really good, although admittedly, it's harder to hit the goals on Call of Duty. And I think that's because when I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7, here I am, crazy focused on the game, raging and trying to get good. And, it's hard to do that, but then actively engage with the audience. It is, because I got to be playing the game a ton, and I can't really turn back and talk to you guys that much, especially during a match. And I think that disengagement makes the audience feel a little bit less involved and therefore less apt to contribute to support that stream. The good news is we have been hitting the goals for Call of Duty. It just seems to be a lot of the times it's last minute, okay? So Call of Duty will stay in the rotation, no problem. I want it to be in there as the multiplayer game. In fact, we're getting to points now where things are going well. Yesterday, I used melee with the knife, and I had a built class for it, like specialized for it. And I actually had crazy kill streaks, and I was actually racking up the score streaks. It was pretty good. People were really enjoying it. Oh, by the way, Nuketown came back. And with Nuketown returning, it basically allowed us to kind of go crazy in a situation where certain things will work better, like melee attacks. So it was fun. Okay. So I'm going to keep that in the rotation. Mario Galaxy 2, I want to keep in the rotation as a filler, so it will be in and out of the rotation. You'll see it maybe once, twice a week moving forward. Outside of that, you may look and be like, well, what else is a staple? Well, Truck Sim, right? And that's about it. Like, there's not much else going on right now that's a staple of my schedule. But that's okay. We don't always need to have a ton of games in the rotation, as long as we have a few that are working. And then keep in mind, if we end up having extra time or openings, I could always start another game. I could always bring in a new game or resume a game. I could always play a game off of Steam. That's what we did this week with Leave It Alone and Baby Steps. One of them worked, one of them did not. But we could always keep doing that. We could bring back one of the horror games from last month or whatever. I think right now things are going good. Not a big deal. Okay. And then, of course, in early December, apparently we have multiple games, including Metroid Prime 4, the beta for Marvel Tokon, if I get in. I'm supposed to, but I didn't get my code yet. As well as, I guess there's a game exclusive to PlayStation, some kind of a dinosaur horror game. Code Violet or something it's called. So we're going to have a few new games in early December to play with, and it should be fun. All right, it should. It should be a good time while also balancing the other stuff that we're doing. So gameplay-wise, we're good. Like, I don't think we have any problems with the schedule. I think we're doing good. Oh, bring back Harold Halibut. I can't believe Big Mac even remembered Harold Halibut. He said bring back Harold Halibut. Oh, my God. Anyway, what we really need to talk about is next week, we have 2 holiday things going down. You may not be aware of this. 2 holiday events. And both of those events are not really planned out yet. Like, normally by now, we'd be sitting here and be like, we know exactly what's going on. We're going to have all these events happening, and let's do it. We haven't really talked. We talked about the Black Friday thing a couple times during the month, but we never really locked it in. We not once have talked about Thanksgiving, okay? So I think that we should actually talk about that stuff so we know what's going on and we can get excited for it, okay? It's good stuff. All right. So, hold on, because a bunch of contributions came in I want to shout out first, and then we'll talk about the events coming up, okay? Thanks, Princess Luna. Well, I'll shout that out in a second because I got all these tips to shout out. Ladies and gentlemen, I just received a $60 tip, and it says Tormented Souls is awesome. $60 tip. Tormented Souls is awesome. Thank you for a $60 tip. I'm assuming this is someone who wanted to be here for Tormented Souls last night and couldn't be here. I'm actually going to name that tit Tormented Souls is awesome. There you go. So now we're up to 115. Remember what I said? If we hit 150, anything above that will count towards the Tormented Soul stream from last night. So maybe we'll hit 2 goals today. All right. That's already a great start. So thank you so much for that. So I got a $1 tip from someone, and they say the following. Pokemon seems to be doing the best on your streams right now. It's consistently doing well on the channel. Maybe every once in a while, dive into Pokemon fan games or ROM hacks. Fan game and ROM hacking scene has grown like crazy in the past few years, just a thought. Yeah, actually, someone had said this to me just a week or two ago. They said, you know, you're doing well with your Pokemon playthroughs. Did you ever think about going back and playing the older Pokemon games? And I was like, oh, that would be interesting. But then I was like, wait a minute. Like, let me think about that. Okay? Let me think about it. How do you play old Pokemon games? Because for the record, old Pokemon games were all on handheld, right? They were always like Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, 3DS. It wasn't until the Switch that Pokemon games were actually on a main console. They never were. They were always handhelds. So how would I play it? And then people were like, oh, emulation. Oh. Now, the thing is about emulation, again, I'm not totally against it, especially if the games are not playable. That does irk me. Why doesn't Nintendo release a legit way to play the classic Pokemons and make bank? Like, you're telling me right now they couldn't port classic Pokemons to the Switch too? I have a hard time believing that. I totally think that they could, okay? I don't know why they don't, right? Imagine if they started releasing them, and even they charge $10 each, right? $10 for Pokemon, original Pokemon Ruby, Pokemon Gold, Pokemon whatever. I think people would pay $10 a pop for the classic Pokemon games, right? You know, I mean, the thing is they don't really do that. Instead, they just add them to like the Nintendo Online service stuff, which I'll be honest, it's a stupid thing. Like, people don't want all those games. They just want to play what they want. I think people would spend a few bucks, $10 a Pokemon game. Dude, there's a lot of them. Like they could make a ton of money on this, but they just don't do it. Nintendo has this weird thing. You know exactly what they think they are or they're like? Disney. Disney does the same shit. Disney would do, okay, so first we're going to release our movie on a home video for like a few months. Oh, it's limited time. If you don't buy it, then you can't get it. Huh? Then like a few years later, all right, now we're putting it on DVD at better quality. Then like 10 years later, okay, now it's going to be on Blu-ray at a better quality, but limited quantities. If you don't buy it, you can't get it. What? They did a weird thing that they did with all their stuff, their IPs. So now Nintendo kind of does the same thing. It's like they could create an artificial scarcity for some bizarre reason. Remember just a few years ago, they released the double pack of, what was it, Mario Galaxy and Mario, was it 3D Land? And they were like, oh, it's a double pack for the Switch. Oh, it's only available for like 2 months. Then that's it. It's out of print. You can't buy it anymore. We're not going to make any more of them. What? Why? It's not even on the store anymore. You can't digitally get the game. They shut it down. You can't buy it. So, in my opinion, when these companies do that kind of stuff, sadly what they do is they actually just promote piracy. Let's be honest. That's the problem, is people now are like, well, if I can't get the content, I want to pay for it. You won't let me pay for it, so I'm just going to steal it. Like, if there was a legit way to buy the Pokemon games, I would be okay with that. I would want to buy them and play them. Well, guess what? I can't get an old Game Boy and find a way to capture the Game Boy for my setup so we could stream old Pokemon. It's not possible. So instead, if I want to play an old Pokemon game, I got to steal it. Not a very good idea for posterity and for the history of gaming. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck don't they just make it available? Anyway, for that to happen, I would have to look into it. We'd have to figure out exactly how to do it. Like, what would be the emulation method to do it? I'm not against it. I'm not. Particularly if there's a game that I cannot legally buy and play, and you guys want to see me play it, then emulation comes into play. All right. But we have to be sure that it's safe and that it's not going to be an issue. It's going to have crashes and problems. And now we can't do the playthrough either. That's the thing. I want it to be consistent. And I don't want it to be like what happened with the GTA playthrough, where the mods didn't work at first. We got them working. We did the whole GTA. Then I could not do the DLC of Gay Tony because the mods don't work with it. That frustrated me because the whole thing was we were working towards Ballad of Gay Tony and then we couldn't play it. So I would definitely want it to be quick to do and stable. And that's my concern, is the stability. So let's talk about it. If you're interested after, obviously this would be after Pokemon Legends ZA is done. All right, this would not be, oh, let's do it now. Let's finish this playthrough. Let's write it out. We probably still have many streams left before we beat the game. And then after that, if you guys have post-game content you want to see me do, we'll talk about it. All right, but let's see what happens in the future with that. It's a possibility. I'm not going to say no. I have the means to do it now. Before it was, I don't have the means to do it. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm a PC gamer now. I have the means, so I'm not going to shut it down. I'll say, yeah, it's a possibility. Let's figure it out, but let's do it at a later date. Okay? Okay. I got a $5.01 tip, and this guy says, C. Smith, like S.I. Smith, says hi. Well, hello. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for $5. I appreciate that. I received, hold on, a $20 super chat from Princess Luna. Thank you, Princess Luna. That was the nice animation that played earlier. She says, evolve an Eevee into Glacian with the Ice Stone and name it Glacy, please. Okay, we have not evolved a single Eevee in the playthrough. I think we caught 2, but we have not evolved any. So I think we actually have an extra one. I purposefully caught an extra one because I knew people might want to start evolving them. So I think we will do that. That's good. So that Glacy a Glacian today. Cool. All right. So we already have 2 Pokemon that will be named. We're already at $141 of support. And we haven't even finished the podcast yet. That's a pretty darn good start. Remember, like I said, if we raise an extra 60, so if we get to 210 today, we'll count it as 2 goals because it'll have made up for Tormented Souls last night, and we'll hit our goal for today. So let's go. Let's get to 210, and let's count for 2 goals. Sounds good to me. All right. Now, a lot of people have been trying to talk to me, but I've been doing all these shout-outs. I missed a bunch of messages. Hold on one second here. So we've got... No, Pepsi fan, stop with that nonsense. I'm not even going to address it. Really being silly. Jade says, look up Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. It's my favorite Godzilla game. What's that one? We played a Godzilla game on PlayStation Plus years ago. Remember? It was 2-3 years ago when they had PlayStation Plus Platinum. I played one for a little bit. PS2 era. Whoa, that's some funky art. Oh, that's some funky cover art. It was PS2 GameCube game. Yeah, I heard that at one point there was a ton of great like Godzilla games during that era. I don't know why, particularly during that era of like PS2 GameCube, why there were so many Godzilla games that came out that were, like full 3D and like all the extended kaiju cast were in them and stuff. Okay. All right. So let's get back on track. All right. This week, there's 2 special things going on. First of all, let's talk about American Thanksgiving. American Thanksgiving takes place on the final Thursday of every November. This year, it's November 27th, which is coming up this week. So that day, I will be streaming, but I'm only doing 1 stream, okay? I'm only doing my daytime stream on that day. Why? Well, because I'm going to spend time with my wife that night. We're going to have a nice Thanksgiving dinner. She'll be cooking all day. She's going to make turkey, stuffing, cranberry sauce, some kind of potatoes. I don't know if it's going to be sweet or yellow. We haven't decided yet. She's going to make some kind of like mashed potatoes or baked potatoes, some kind of a casserole, and we're going to have dessert too. We're going to see if we can get like a pie or something. So she's going to be doing that all day, and then we're going to have a delicious, amazing American Thanksgiving dinner together on that day, and then we're going to relax together all that night. So no stream that night. I'll be spending time with my wife, all right? But traditionally, I always spend that day with you guys. My wife outright has said, I don't want you interfering with the meal. Well, I don't really need your hands in the kitchen. I just want to do it myself. Stay out of the kitchen. She does want me to help her clean up after the meal, and that I'm perfectly okay with. I'll wash the dishes or whatever. But definitely, she doesn't want me sticking my fingers in stuff, screwing stuff up when she's trying to make the meal. Okay? So, what should we do on that day? It's a good question. Okay? I've done various different things over the years. At one point, Thanksgiving was my traditional Ask the King special. Now, for those who don't remember Ask the King, this was a show that I basically did either once a month or every few months. I would field all of your questions. I would pick the best ones, and then I would answer them in a concentrated show. It was basically an extended Q&A show where all I did was answer your questions, okay? Now, the thing is, the show got phased out because it was outdated. Like, there was no reason to have a Q&A show when I'm an interactive streamer that talks to you all every day. So because of that, the show disappeared, and there's really no reason to ever bring it back. So why would I want to do, Ask the King? Yeah, I'm not going to, right? So that's definitely not going to happen. It is possible that we could just do a chill with Phil, a Thanksgiving chill with Phil, where you guys just hang out with me that day and we 2-3 hours, we just talk. We just shoot the shit. We just see whatever comes to mind. We hang out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we could do that, but I think that might be way too much. Like an insanely long chill with Phil. We could pick a game to play that day. Like specifically, we could say, hey, I just want to play this game on that day, right? That's okay, but what would it be? I don't know. What is it that you guys would like to see on American Thanksgiving? A special game? Should we pick a different game, a special game just to play on that day? Or should it be a game that's already in the rotation and we do a big stream of it? Like, I don't know what to do. And I definitely want to see what you guys think. Like, what ideas do you guys have? What would you like to see on American Thanksgiving? The reason I keep saying American Thanksgiving is because I have an international audience and many of you already celebrated Thanksgiving already, or you're going to celebrate Thanksgiving, and I want you to understand it's ours, okay? So, what do you guys think? What should I do on that day? Stardew Valley. There's a dumb troll. He's an idiot. All day Call of Duty. Balatro. No, I'm not a human. Interesting. Seems like people want gameplay. Everyone seems to be saying gameplay of different kinds. Truck Sim. King Michael says Truck Sim. Well, here's the thing. We have Thanksgiving Day, and then we have Black Friday. So now let me explain the Black Friday deal. On Black Friday, I'm going to be here all day. We're going to do a marathon, okay? But the question is what to do during the marathon, because typically we have themed marathons, but we didn't plan anything this year. And what I was thinking is it could be a chill variety marathon. We're not committing to anything, but over the course of Black Friday, I thought, number one, you guys always have me drinking during marathons. For every $100 hit, I take a shot. So I was thinking, what would be fun to do during that day? Well, number one, yeah, Truck Sim. Like maybe we could do an hour or two of Truck Sim, okay? Like I'd be down for that, an hour or two, okay? If that's what you guys wanted. What about Call of Duty? Imagine me tipsy trying to play Call of Duty. I'm almost thinking if I do that, I should just do a full, knife run. Just go for knife kills. And by the way, by then I'll probably have the cloak mode. So that way I can stay in cloak and I can come out and get cheap kills. Like that would be crazy being buzzed and trying to do crazy melee kill streaks in the game. That'd be challenging, but I think it would be pretty fun. Okay. So I was thinking those are two of the things that I could do on Black Friday. But in addition, like I said, one of the things I want to do is look for some stuff. For example, I want to shop for a new controller for sure. We've actually been talking recently about upgrading my setup, getting a corner desk to put here instead of these two tables that I have a corner desk that sits in front of me. So one side is for podcasting and vlogging, and the other side is for gaming. And if I have a corner desk, now I can actually get a gaming monitor that I can put here on the desk in front of me. And that would be a much better situation than what I have now where I'm using the TV on the back wall. Everyone's been yelling at me for the last year saying, dude, you have a good gaming PC. You got a good capture PC, but you're using a TV to game, and the TV has input delay and problem. Why aren't you using a gaming monitor like everyone else does? So maybe we could look at some things. I'm not saying I would definitely buy them that day, but we could look at things like that, like a desk and stuff like that. In addition, if I'm going to get a new desk, I might as well get a new chair. Because if I'm going to get a new desk, I don't know the height, and this chair is not height adjustable. So we might have to get a new chair so that way I can adjust it to the height of the new desk. And by the way, this chair is getting older and starting to fall apart. You know, it would be great to get a new one as well. So maybe I could get, look at that stuff. Again, I'm not saying that I'm going to drop an insane amount of money on that day, but maybe I could. Maybe we could look at stuff and at least get the idea of what's there and try to figure out what I want to do for my office here. So there you go. That's some of the stuff we can do on Black Friday. And then whatever else you want. If you guys just want to chill with me for a bit and we talk, if you guys want to play another particular game, maybe we'll play a horror game that day because people will be like, we want some horror today. All right. Maybe that'll be the opportunity to do like Poppy's Playtime Chapter 2 or, more of something else. I'm down for that. Okay. I just want to leave it kind of open. I don't want to be like locked into doing any particular thing that day. And how about this? I mean, what we could do, but I don't know if I don't know if I want to do this. I had an idea, now already I'm dismissing it. The idea was this. What if we set a goal of support, and if I hit the goal of support, then I commit to spending to upgrading the office? But I don't know if I like that idea because I don't want you guys to think that it's a freaking telethon again. I don't want the stream to feel like, oh, it's like the old days where I did a marathon, and there was always like $1,000, $2,000 goal we're trying to hit, and I'm so tired of doing that. I mean, the difference here would be that if we hit the goal, that I would guarantee that I would then spend the money to upgrade the office. But I don't like that whole telethon idea. I'm so tired of it. I did it so many times back in the day, and a lot of people gave me shit for it, So I don't know. We could talk about it and try to figure it out. See, here's the thing. Like, for example, let's say I were to upgrade the office. Well, a corner desk, a good one, is probably going to cost a few $100s, like probably like $300-400 to get a good, high-quality corner desk. I'm not talking some El Cheapo shit that's going to break, fiberboard garbage. Like this one right here is fiberboard trash. I want to get a good quality desk that's going to last a long time, right? Then, if I'm going to get a new chair, again, a quality chair, probably between $300 to $500. Not a gamer chair that's a piece of garbage that's going to break, but an actual comfy chair with lumbar support. And by the way, I cannot get a leather chair because Jasper Cat will jump on that chair and destroy it with his back claws. I need to get something that's fabric. So now it's like I would have to look specifically for a chair that is a good chair, but also is, cloth so he won't tear it up if he climbs it. Then we'd have to look into gaming monitors, right? Like what kind of gaming monitor that would be on this desk and figure out what's a good one. Like, I guess 4K is out of the question because the 4K gaming monitors are supposedly insanely expensive. So I don't think that I would want that. I think I would want maybe like a 1440p monitor that has like real low response time or something like that. And then here, for this side, maybe I could get a monitor like someone had suggested. Why don't you get like a widescreen monitor? Because if you had a widescreen monitor, you could actually have your stream going like here on this side, but then you could have all your chats on the other side and you could do it all at once. You could do it all together. I'm like, oh, that's true. So you're talking a desk, a new chair, 2 monitors. I mean, that's going to be probably $2K. You know what I'm saying? If not more, I don't know. But that's what I mean. Like, we could do that, but again, it could be based on how much I raise. That's what I spend or something. But I don't know. Because again, people are, oh, clip this and send it to Asmongold and send it to everyone. It's just an idea. I didn't even say I'm doing it yet, but you'll say I did because you're a fucking pathetic loser. You're such a fucking life loser, really. You just say dumb shit. I'm just brainstorming. Didn't even say I'm doing anything yet. Seriously, like, what the fuck is your problem? See what I mean? Anything that I even say that's an idea, we haven't even said we're going to do it yet. Oh, that's it. He's the devil. He's the devil. What the fuck is wrong with you? Wow. Someone has suggested that too. Zelvania says you could get a second monitor that would stack on top of your main monitor. I could, but again, that's dependent on, did I get a good desk that can handle the weight of 2 clipped monitors that are on a mounting rack, that's what I mean. Like, this is all dependent stuff. It's like, it would all be spending that like kind of stacks on top of itself. It's like, I got the good desk, but now I need to get a good chair to work with the desk because this chair won't work because this chair isn't height adjustable. Oh, well, now I got to get monitors set up. Well, if I'm going to get 2 monitors, you got to get one for gaming and one for the stream monitoring. But then should I stack monitors or should I do that? And that's what happens. So I guess that's one thing we can do. But I don't know if I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I want to necessarily say that's what the whole day is about. I want it to be a chill day. I feel like if I do that and I'm like, let's do that. Let's make it so that if I raise $1,000 on that day, I'm guaranteed to buy a desk and a chair. And then if I raise $2,000 on that day, I will buy 2 monitors and I will buy others, you know what I'm saying? But then what will happen is the whole day will be about that. The whole day will be about how much Phil can raise in a day to upgrade his setup instead of it being a nice chill day where we spend time together and we relax and we enjoy games. I much rather would have it be a relaxing day, you know? No, it's not that I'm planning it. Here's someone says, it sounds like you were planning it that way. No, it's Black Friday. Like if there is a day to do that, it's that day because everything's on sale. Like no lie, if I were to buy a new setup upgrades that day, I'd probably save an incredible amount of money. A desk that's normally $400 will be like $250. A monitor that's normally $500 will be like $350. So I'll save an insane amount of money on that day. That's why it would be the time to do it. Exactly. Gar says, oh, a nice relaxing $2,000 day. That doesn't really go hand in hand, does it? That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it in that regard. Like, I think like that would be the day to do it, but I don't know if that's what we want to do. Again, we have 2 days. We have Thanksgiving Day major stream and we have the entire Black Friday. And that's what I want to figure out what we're doing. How about this? I'll say this. During those days, I want to play Black Ops 7 and I want to do some truck sim with you guys. I would like to do that. Okay. I think those are 2 things we can lock in. Those things will be happening no matter what. Oh, well, here's the thing. So someone just said, well, why don't you just get the upgrades anyway? And it has nothing to do tied to the stream or anything you raise. I could, but then I'm not going to do it all in one day. Like, for example, right now, if I wanted to get a new gaming desk, I can get it right now. All right? But I can't get a new gaming desk, 2 new monitors, a new chair, and peripherals and things for it. I can't drop $3,000 right now. Okay? I just can't. That's stupid. I don't have that much freedom of liquidity. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to rack up an insane amount of debt. I don't want to drop all my money in my bank account. I could get piecemeal. I could get one thing now, another thing in a few weeks, another thing in a month. I could just slowly build it up. I could. But the thing is, it's Black Friday. Everything's on sale. So if there was ever one day to do it all in one thing, that would be the day to do it. You know what I'm saying? It is. That would be the day to do it. So I need to know what you guys think. I would say definitely we're going to be doing Black Ops 7, and we're definitely going to be doing Truck Sim. Those 2 are like locked, okay? Absolutely locked in. But the question is when? Do we do that during Black Friday? Do we do that on Thanksgiving or whatever, right? See, the thing is, Black Friday, Black Ops Friday. I've done that before. There's been years previous where I played Black Ops Friday. You know what I'm saying? So that could make sense. Just play some Black Ops that day, but not all day. That's the thing too. I cannot play it all day. I can't. I'm getting to the point of my age. I can't be doing crazy high intensity mouse and keyboard shit all day long. I just can't do it. Okay. So I could do it as a segment. I could do it as one stream, but I can't do it for a whole marathon. I wouldn't even want to do that for the whole marathon. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. I want to do a variety of stuff that day. So I guess we have to see what we want to do that day, right? Green Guardsman says, how about truck sim and chill on Thanksgiving, Black Ops and shopping, and a chill Black Friday? So like a 3+ hour truck sim stream. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Oh, that's true. Okay. There's a very important point to bring up here. This is actually really important, okay? Every time I play truck sim, I've been having a few drinks, correct? Yeah, a few ciders, a few seltzers, whatever it may be, right? I cannot drink on Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, I have to eat dinner with my wife, clean up, spend time with her. I'm not going to be drinking on that stream. So if I do truck sim on Thanksgiving, it's a sober truck sim stream. And I bet people immediately are going to be like, No, we like it when you're buzzed doing truck sim. So if you want me to be buzzed doing truck sim, we have to do that on Black Friday because that's the marathon. That's when every $100 raised, I take a shot. So there you go. That would make total sense. You see? So I like the idea, but truck sim on Thanksgiving would not work for that very reason. I've played many of the Kingdom Hearts games, all 3 numbered ones, and the playthroughs are on this channel. Is booze a real draw to the truck sim streams? Apparently so. Apparently the fact that I have a couple of drinks when I hang out with you guys, people like the idea. They think it loosens me up. Although admittedly, like I said, I feel like anything I've ever said on a truck sim stream, I would have said even if I hadn't had a couple drinks in me anyway. I don't think I've never gone so crazy and say stuff that I wouldn't normally say. Excuse me. Ugh. Jade, we'll see what happens today. Because I don't know. I don't know today if we're even going to catch Pokemon today or not. We do have to catch a Raichu or Pikachu for the tipper, but outside of that, I don't know. We'll have to see. That's right. I'm not going to drink on Thanksgiving because I'm going to spend time with my wife that night, and I'm not going to be all buzzed or drunk during that. I want to spend time with my wife. You know, there's a difference between, hey guys, I've committed to be here on stream all day with you for a marathon. Okay, so I'll drink and we'll have fun. That's the day for me. Versus, oh, it's a freaking holiday we spend once a year together, and I want to spend time with my wife and not be, drunk. And like I said, I'm going to eat and then I'm going to clean and everything. I committed to doing that. I'm not going to be all drunk doing it. Sorry that I'm going to be a respectable family man here and do the right thing. I'm not drinking on Thanksgiving. Pokemon? I mean, we could do a Pokemon stream on Wednesday. Looking at the schedule, excuse me, Thursday. Looking at the schedule, okay? So Sunday, we're doing Call of Duty and Truck Sim. Monday, we got the interview, and then we've got Tormented Souls 2. Tuesday, we're doing Pokemon and Call of Duty. So I guess Wednesday, we could do Mario and Tormented Souls 2, and then Thursday, we could do Pokemon. We could just do a chill Pokemon stream on Thanksgiving. We could do that, and that's just a normal stream. And then Friday would be the Black Friday special, where we do Call of Duty, Truck Sim while drinking. Then we do some shopping. We do some chill stuff. Yeah. Oh, for the record, I'm going to be doing Thanksgiving leftovers for my meal on Friday. So unlike a normal marathon where I order out, and it's going to be just kind of feasting with the king, Thanksgiving leftovers meal. You're going to get to see what I had on Thanksgiving basically the day after as leftovers. I think that's the first time I've ever done that, right? It is. Always typically there would be like fresh food or whatever, but actually I'm just going to have the Thanksgiving leftovers on that day. So you're going to get to see the turkey, the mashed potatoes, some stuffing, some cranberry sauce, all that stuff. It'll be cool. No, we never waste the food. No, we make a lot of food on Thanksgiving. Then we eat it for like 3-4 days straight till it's, you're only supposed to eat leftovers for 3 days. So we eat it like over the weekend. We eat as much as we can, and usually there's not much left. We just eat it all. Abdullah says, play Black Ops all day, but since it's so tedious and it hurts your hands, do half on keyboard and mouse, half on controller. No. I don't want to do the entire day Black Ops. Like, listen, back in the day, maybe, that's too much. That absolutely, that will turn people off. People will get bored. I think what would be fun is on that day, let's do challenges. Let's say, can Phil get 20 melee kills in this game, 30 melee kills, and challenge me to do it? People can wager in the kick chat if I'll do it or not. And then they can win or lose points based on if I actually complete the challenge or not, right? I think that would be fun because we've done that before. And it's been really fun. So I think that would be something very fun to do. So, all right. So here, how about this? Pokemon Thanksgiving. And then we'll do Black Ops and American Truck Sim. But I'll be taking shots for every $100 race. So I'll have had a few shots at that point for those. And then we'll also do some shopping. We'll see what the prices are on Black Friday for things. At the very least, I want to get a new controller. The Elite 2 controller is good, but as we saw during Silk Song, it's not great. The buttons leave something to be desired. I have this giant callus now on my thumb that's not going away yet because of that. So I definitely think I want a new controller. People have made suggestions of new controllers. Some of them are already on sale. So I want to do that at the very least. But hey, if things go well and I decide, hey, let's actually do it, maybe I'll actually do the office upgrade. You know, like I said, the desk, the chair, a couple gaming monitors, those would be the things that I would need to get. Of course, I'd probably also have to get some extra long HDMI high-end cables as well. Because right now, I mean, the ones I have are all hooked up to other stuff. So I need to get a couple HDMI really good cables as well. Or I guess DisplayPort too, right? A DisplayPort cable would work. Yeah, it would have to go out of, let me think about this. It would have to come out of that capture device and go right over here. Yeah. Instead of to the TV, it would be coming here. Is Black Ops 7 the overall worst game of the year? No. Don't get me wrong, it's bad. Like, by Call of Duty standards, it's pretty bad, but I don't think it's the worst game of the year by any means. I mean, it's a game that has an incredible amount of content. You get a fully fledged, huge amount of content in the multiplayer, then you get zombies, then you get a campaign. I really don't think that it's a horrible game. It's just bad by Call of Duty standards. One of the worst. Ask RTU for tech advice. Maybe I will. Does RTU take call-ins? Maybe I'll call in on his Black Friday stream and hey, is this the call center? Hey, can I get some tech advice? What should I get right now? I have money to spend on Amazon to upgrade my setup, because I'm not broke like you. So I have some money to spend and I'd like to know what I should get. Would you take my call? What do you think? He just fall asleep during the call. Oh, good Lord. To be honest, I have not followed that guy whatsoever at all this year. I have no idea what he's up to, what he's doing. I don't care. I told you guys, he's like the least thing on my mind. I only think about him when you guys bring him up in chat. I never have a thought about that man. Thankfully, he is so far in my rearview mirror of anything I care about, and that's definitely a good thing. I got a $5.01 tip, and it says, every little bit helps, and I'm looking forward to more Tormented Souls 2. Thank you. Thank you for 501. Guys, we're at 146. We're literally $4 away from hitting the goal for Pokemon and $64 away for hitting a second goal and counting it towards Tormented Souls 2 last night. So let's go. If we get a little bit of more support, we can rally here. Maybe we can even hit it by the end of the podcast. We're doing pretty darn good today. Thank you guys for that. So, a white and gold shirt. Are we really bringing back that meme from years ago? Are we seriously doing that? Why are you counting support during your podcast towards another specific game that wasn't on that stream? Because I can do whatever I want. I'm a master of my own destiny. I'm the one who runs the show, so I make the rules. Get it? If you did your own stream, you could make up your rules. That's how it works. Go for it. Turn on a stream right now and make up your own rules and see what happens. Oh, wait, you'll get no viewers. Sorry. Anyway. Okay, well, I think we figured out what we want to do on Thanksgiving. We'll do a Pokemon stream. We figured out some of the stuff we're doing on Black Friday. We'll definitely do some boozed up Black Ops 7, some boozed up Truck Sim. Maybe we'll do a little bit of shopping. At a minimum, we'll get a gamepad, but maybe we'll do more. Really depends on how the day takes us. There'll be Thanksgiving leftovers chowed down on during the stream. There'll probably be some chilling with me as well. So, in general, we kind of know what's going on the Black Friday stream. So, we've actually done what we wanted to do. All right? So, we have two options. Either we can just do a little bit of chill Q&A right now for the rest of the podcast, or we can actually talk about the Golden Joystick Awards, if you guys care. To be honest, I don't really care, but this morning my wife brought it up and started reading some of the winners, and I was like, kind of makes sense for what they would do, but it's up to you if you want to talk about it or not. I don't know if you want to or not. It's really your call. What do you guys want to do? It doesn't seem people care too much. I mean, to be honest, I never pay attention to the Golden Joystick Awards. They happen every year, but it's all internet-based stuff, so I don't really pay that much attention to it at all. And quite frankly, some of the winners of previous years have been insanely questionable stuff, totally not complete journalist, rub shoulders with this game dev kind of a deal. It's kind of nonsensical stuff, so I don't really pay attention to it. So what is it? So the So the Game Awards, the official Game Awards are called the Libbies because the jury is just a panel of game journalists and or very left-leaning content creators that vote on those awards, right? And then the Golden Joystick Awards, also known as the Purchasable Awards. Yes. Have I seen the trailer for Return to Silent Hill? No. Is that the new Silent Hill movie coming out? When does that come out? I don't think I want to watch that today. Only reason is whenever I react to any movie trailer, that entire podcast gets claimed and I can't make any money on it, which pisses me off. Return to Silent Hill. Film based on the iconic video game Silent Hill 2. It comes out in January. Okay. Oh, it's directed by the guy who actually directed the first Silent Hill film in 2006. So 20 years later, he's making this another one. Well, that's crazy. It's based directly on the plot of Silent Hill 2. Why can't I see the picture in a resolution I can see it? Oh my God, this is terrible. So this one actually will be based on Silent Hill 2, as opposed to the original Silent Hill was a mishmash, if you remember. The original Silent Hill was some of the plot of Silent Hill 1 and 2, but also original content also put into the plot. That's why it didn't make sense. Pyramid Head was in it. But like, why? James isn't in the movie. So because James isn't in the movie, there shouldn't be Pyramid Head, because Pyramid Head was supposed to be the representation of him and his misdeeds in Silent Hill. Now, I'm also wondering, is this movie going to tie to the 2006? Because it's the same director. Maybe he'll actually connect it to his original movie somehow. But I think that'll be hard to do because, like I said, the original Silent Hill movie had so many original concepts in it, also combined with concepts from Silent Hill. It was this weird mishmash, and I feel like they're gonna just like write that first movie off and be like, that was something else. Especially because remember, they already made a sequel to that movie and it sucked. You remember the sequel? It was awful. The first movie was decent. The second movie was not good. Well, Jim says maybe you can get good deals on workout equipment or supplements on Black Friday. Supplements, I don't care. Workout equipment, probably. The problem is I don't have any room to put it anywhere yet. Like I said, I need to, on my end, I need to work on figuring out how can I clean out my house a bit. I got to look into like one of these companies that will come by and haul away a bunch of crap. Like I got some old furniture I might want to get rid of. I like the remember the love seat that used to be in here? I got to get this out of my house so that I have room to do shit. Like I would like to have an empty room, whether it's the room across the hall or the nook in my bedroom, where that's the workout area. And I could designate that as the 100% workout area with a lot of space. Then I can see what can I fit there. Right now, I'm not just start buying equipment with nowhere to put it. Will I review the next Mario movie? I don't know how I'm going to see it. I guess it depends on when it goes, digital, available to watch or whatever. No, I don't have a basement. There is no... Buckwell, you know to tag me. Why didn't you tag me in the chat? But no, I don't have a basement. We don't have a basement or an attic. We have neither. All right, where are we at? We're still at 141? No, we're at 146, right? Here we go. Hashtag Fluffy just did a $4.99 super sticker. Let's see what that equivalent of that is today, because every day I swear I check the exchange rate, and the pounds exchange rate is completely different every day. So it's $6.53 today. Okay. Thank you to hashtag Fluffy. So with that, we have hit our first goal of the stream early. Thank you guys for the early support. That is amazing. Up to 7 of 10 goals. Now we can have a nice, chill Pokemon stream and enjoy each other's company. You could still name a Pokemon for $20 if you would like, and it will come into the party for the whole stream. But thank you guys for allowing me to hit my goal before we even booted the game. That is absolutely amazing, and I appreciate that. Now, remember the offer that I made? That if we hit $210, so that's $60 additional on this stream, I'll count it as if it happened last night for Tormented Souls 2, and we'll say we hit another goal. All right, so we're now at what? 152? So another 58 to go. And then we can say we hit that second goal, and we'll celebrate again. Let's go. Can we hit that before the end of the podcast? We could. We still have like 20, 30 minutes left on the podcast. Can we hit the second goal right now? Let's go. That's correct. If we hit a total of 300 today, I will count it as 3 goals. That's right. I will. Absolutely. Okay. All right. So what do you guys want to talk about? We got a little bit of extra time. Tag me in either chat. All right. Let's see what people want to chat about this morning before we end the show. Heavy Lies the Crown, I already explained. He goes, I want to see you upgrade the office. I want to see you use monitors, but don't tie it to a goal. You're not listening. I can upgrade the office slowly at a slower rate by myself. I just can't drop thousands of dollars in one sitting. If on Black Friday we set it up as part of the Black Friday event, that means that if I raise a certain amount, I can spend it immediately on Amazon that day and save a lot of money on the setup. The only reason that I would tie it to a marathon is because we have to order that day to save the money. You understand what I'm saying? So either I can slowly buy the pieces that I need over time, in which case it'll probably take a few months or more to upgrade the setup slowly, or we could have a big event where we raise it all in a day and I buy it all in that one day because it's all on sale, but then we have to have the money that day. Do you understand? Maybe you don't. I don't know. It's hard to explain stuff to people sometimes, I guess. I don't know. Christmas ideas? Christmas is an easy marathon. Here's why. You guys always nominate, and then we vote on games or whatever. And I always do some kind of Christmas fun, some Christmas drinks. I buy like eggnog or like a Bailey's cream that's themed or some beer that's themed, things that are themed to Christmas. Maybe I'll buy like a cinnamon whiskey or something, to have. It's like a Christmas themed thing. I wear different Christmas attire during the day. I go change my attire like 4 or 5 times, which is always fun. It's always a fun event. It's easy to do. It's not a lot of planning. You guys just nominate a variety of games and we just play whatever. It's a good time. So I'm not too worried about the Christmas event. That's usually a simple one. Bookwell says, imagine having a sandwich shop and the owner wants you to pay for his operating cost. Yeah, imagine having a sandwich shop and you buy the sandwiches. That's exactly what we're saying. So you come to the stream, you're enjoying the content you're getting, so you pay for it. Get it? I guess not. I guess that's too hard of a concept for you to understand. Oh, it's so hard to figure out. I like something I'm getting, so I pay for it. Oh, are we getting a Christmas tree this year? I don't know. We have like 1 or 2 smaller fake trees that my parents bought us last year. The problem is one of them has lights that are way too bright. If we turn it on, it's like the insanely bright LED lights and they're not adjustable. So that one we might put out for decoration but not plug in. We have another one that I can't remember if it has lights or not. We were talking about getting a tree, but sadly, I don't know if we're going to get time to do it. Like I keep saying to my wife, let's go out and do stuff, and we never get around to it. Like I would love to go out and just go buy a small Christmas tree and buy some ornaments and be able to put it up. But time gets away from us these days, I want to do that, but I don't know. Guess we'll have to see. Like I know for a fact we have 2 days coming up in early December that we have multiple appointments and things that we have to do during those days. So maybe during those days we could squeeze in, go in and get in a tree. But now it's already early December. I don't know. Mr. Omega Man, thanks for $2. He says, I'm going to save up $500 for a Christmas chat. Well, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to tell me ahead of time. And you don't have to do that either. But hey, if you do it, thanks in advance. That's pretty nice of you. A $500 super chat. Actually, what was the biggest super chat I've ever received? I have no idea. I don't think there's a way to figure that out. I don't think like there's a history on YouTube where I can click and say, hey, what's the biggest super chat ever? I don't think so. Let's see. Supers and gifts. Yeah, you see, you can't sort. No, you can't sort at all. That is garbage. YouTube stinks, man. They really do. I can't sort at all. So I could never see what the biggest one I ever got was. I have no clue. These dummies. See what I mean? Like, they put no effort into anything. You're telling me there's no way you can just sort through your history? No, no, why would you do that? Well, so I can see performance-wise how I've done, what content performs well, what doesn't perform well. What would you need that for? Oh, I don't know. It's not like this is my job or anything. Thanks, you two. Do I prefer vodka or whiskey as my liquor of choice? I would definitely drink whiskey over vodka. Oh, really? Pepsi fan says, actually, $500, there's the limit. That's the biggest super chat that you can give on YouTube. So I guess that's the answer then. The most I ever could have gotten was $500. Okay, I didn't know that. I had no idea there was like a set limit. I think that is the case over on Kick as well. I think the limit is 50,000 kicks. So again, 500 bucks, that's the limit you can give. Do I fear aging or do I accept it as a natural part of life? What do I do to slow it down? I mean, listen, am I afraid of aging? No. I want to age gracefully. I don't want to hide my aging. If that were the case, I would have been dyeing my beard many years ago. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, I'm going to get old. It's going to be sad. I'm not going to be able to do the things that I used to be able to do. And, it does suck. What can you do? Everyone gets old. It's unavoidable, right? It's inevitable. It just happens. So, you know, what do I do to slow it down? I mean, there's not much you could do outside of trying to make healthy choices to your life, which is what I've been trying to do. I changed my diet. I'm working out. I'm trying to do things that are healthy. I drink water all day instead of soda or seltzer or energy drinks. I just drink water. If I want an energy boost, I just have a cup of black coffee, which is not bad for you. I'm trying to do the healthy options of everything to elongate my life as much as I can. And hopefully it works. Because to be frank, for a while there, when I was in my 20s and 30s, I was pretty much doing everything I possibly could to shorten my life. And that was not good. I think the only thing I didn't do was smoke, right? I was eating bad and I was drinking profusely and I was doing just unhealthy things. Now, at least, I'm doing the opposite of that. And thank goodness I never smoked. Well, no, that's true. I've never done drugs. That's never, ever. Besides weed a few times when I was very young, I've never done that kind of stuff. That's correct. I'm never going to. Okay, what else you guys want to talk about? Or the camera froze. What happened here? That's weird. My camera just turned off, and that hasn't happened in many months. So what just happened here? It froze completely. Let's see here. I don't know what happened. That's weird. That has not happened in a very long time. So it makes me nervous. Like, why did that just happen? I've had no problems with my setup like that in a while. So if it happens again, I might have to mess around with it. This camera stayed on over here. This camera stayed on, didn't turn off. Huh. Well, hopefully it doesn't happen again. If it doesn't happen again, we're good. It's a one-off random thing. That's fine. But if it happens again, maybe I got to unplug. I don't know. Did weed amplify my personality or maybe a different person? No, it was the very stereotypical stuff that happens when you smoke weed. Basically, I thought that everything was like a big brain discussion, and talking with my friends, we were having these philosophical discussions about nonsense, and then we got hungry. That was it. That was it. It was very typical stuff. If I could go back, would I focus more on my fighting game career or would I try to do something different? Now, you have to understand that when I was heavily into fighting games, it was totally different. There was no way to have a career. You couldn't make money playing fighting games. Even if you were the best fighting game player on the planet, there was no money in it. There was no sponsorships. There was no teams. So, you would win a tournament. This is not an exaggeration. EVO, the Nationals, the biggest tournament on the planet. So think about it this way. You would fly out to Las Vegas, pay for a hotel room, pay for all the food there, which is overly expensive, pay for the entry fee and or any other expenses for your trip. That was all out of pocket. No one was paying that for you. You were on a team that financed it. You paid for it out of pocket, okay? You play in this tournament for 2-3 days, grinding against hundreds, sometimes thousands of people. Pool play, boring, sitting around waiting all day, boring. Finally get out of pools. Now you're into the brackets. So now you got another day of bracket play. All right. Finally, you get to the top. Okay. Now, finally, it's exciting because now you're actually playing people maybe on stage or on a stream. I was never on a stream because there was no streaming back then, but I played on stage, exciting matches, high profile matches, right? And you get to the top and you win Evo. And they'd be like, congrats, you won the world championship. Here's like $2,000. Wait, what? Yeah, here's 2 grand. Dude, between my hotel, my airfare, and the food, that's like way more than 2 grand. Yeah, here you go. There was no career to be had. It was literally you were playing the games for the love of the game. You were playing the games for some internet clout that didn't matter because, again, there was no streaming or whatever. There was no YouTube. So essentially, it was just bragging rights within the community, and no one else gave a shit. There were esports communities for games like Halo. You know, at that point, it was the emergence of Call of Duty. StarCraft always had it. Okay, fighting games, nothing at all. Seriously, fighting games was just like no big deal. No one really cared. Never really a big discussion. Never really a big thing at all. Just to be honest, it just wasn't a big deal. It wasn't until Street Fighter 4 came out in 2008 that companies said, wait a minute, we can make money on this. We can put our products, for example, game pads, clothing, joysticks, travel stuff, right? That stuff can make money if we put these sponsorships into Street Fighter. Then teams started to form, esports fighting game teams starting to form, get sponsorships, get, promotional stuff, have the players constantly have this shit all over their jerseys, talk about it on streams, make the money, that gets thrown into the product. Now, you win a national tournament and you can make tens of thousands of dollars, all right? At that case, at least it's starting to be worth it. Some of these players who are the top players in the world and they're winning multiple tournaments, big events, are probably making anywhere between 100 to 150 grand perhaps in 1 year. But you have to understand that they're spending an incredible amount of money as well. Like they are probably spending so much money on the travel and everything. Only the ones that are on a team and the team foots the bill for all that are they really making bank. So I would say probably, even if you're a top fighting game esports athlete, you probably don't make a ton of money. You know what I mean? Most of your money to be had is probably sitting at home streaming. That's your profits. The travel and the grind to be in the tournament circuit probably is not super profitable. You know what I'm saying? Zelda Kubo says, how was Damdai able to go to all the tournaments? He had a really high-paying job. Well, I'm to understand he was like a coder or something, and he had an insanely high-paying job, so he just blew all his money on the hobby. Like, that was his thing. His job was his job, but he blew all the money on his hobby, so he was able to go to everything because he had a ton of dough. That's what I heard anyway. I don't know. I never really interrogated the guy, but hey, more power to him. Has an event ever sponsored my entire trip, including accommodations, food, taxi, etc.? No. The closest that I ever came to that was Machinima when they flew me to E3 2012 because they wanted me to be part of the Hawken promotional event at E3. They paid for airfare, they paid for the hotel, and I believe they did maybe I can't remember if it was the rental car. They didn't pay for everything. Like, I still had to pay out of pocket for food. I still had to pay for gas. There was still stuff that I paid for myself, but they paid for like the basic stuff. And then my friend John Rambo came with me. They didn't pay for him, so I had to pay for his airfare and all of that. No. Someone says, did you ever get support or contributions for Evo appearances? No, it didn't exist back then. There was no YouTube. There was no crowdfunding. There was nothing. There was nothing at all to do that. Zero. It was all out of your own pocket. Well, Kitty, I have no idea when we're doing DSP Tries It. I don't know. Let's see. Like I said, if we hit 210 today, that's 2 goals. If we hit 300 today, that's 3 goals. We already got 1. We could have 9 goals by the end of this stream. And then tonight, maybe we hit another goal on the late stream, and then we're doing it on Sunday. But I don't know. There was no Twitter back then. Oh my God. People, how old are you? Did you use Twitter to get into fights back in the day? There was no Twitter back then. What are you talking about? Oh. No, I haven't booted Street Fighter 6 since Mai Shiranui came out. The last stream that I did of Street Fighter 6, I think I played with Honda, and before then I was using Mai, and that was it. I haven't played since. I never booted the game. Like, 3 characters. I didn't see Elena, I didn't see Sagat, and I haven't seen Sea Viper, and I don't care. I don't give a shit. Can I give you my MySpace username? I don't remember what it was. It probably was just Darkside Phil. I did have a MySpace, but I barely used it. I had a MySpace and I had a Facebook. I had a Friendster. That was the first social network was Friendster. That was the first one anyone really talked about. And I had a Friendster, but I don't remember it. I don't think it exists anymore. Maybe it does. I don't know. I never really used it. What was my ICQ handle? I know I used ICQ at one point, but for me it was IRC, Internet Relay Chat, because that's what all the Street Fighter players used. And IRC had a whole bunch of Street Fighter chat rooms that were like regional. Like there was one that was just in general for Shoryuken.com. Then there was one that was just for Evo chat. Then there was one for like each region. So like East Coast had one, West Coast had one, Texas had one. There were these different regional chats that you could go in depending on where you were. 220 did 500 kicks. He says, excited for Truck Sim. Truck Sim's on Sunday. Did an ICQ have numbers, not usernames? I don't remember at all. Like ICQ, I know what it was, but I don't remember it whatsoever. So I barely used it. Like I said, everyone was in IRC for fighting game stuff. Okay, that's our first kicks of the day. It sure would be great, guys, if we could get some support on Kick that's not 220. I'm just saying. Today it's 100% 220 with 1 sub and 500 kicks. It would be great if someone else who watched on Kick could support. Just saying. No, it's right. Bonos Temo says, all these eternally online Gen Zers don't even understand a life prior to the internet where you had to pay your way for everything. That's right. It was so different. Again, when I grew up playing Street Fighter, there was no money in it. It was just for the love of the game. You have to understand that from like the year 2001 to 2008, there were no good fighting games from Capcom. So for 7 years, it was just the same 4 fighting games everywhere you went, and you had to play them and love them, and it was for the love of the game. And that was the era that I became a big player in Super Turbo. You know, when there was no real reward for being good. So I became good at the time when there was, it was the hardest because it wasn't like there was prominence. It wasn't like anyone was caring so much outside of this grassroots community. And that's when I actually fought my way to the top. And I paid a lot of money, man. I spent a ton of money those years to do that shit. Did I ever win a fighting game tournament? I won tons of fighting game tournaments. I was a top player for about 3 to 4 years. In the mid-2000s, I was a top player on the East Coast for Super Turbo, and I won pretty much almost every tournament that I entered for the game, no matter where it was on the East Coast. And then I would go to regionals, and I would usually place, sometimes win. It would depend on the tournament. Yes, Kylera back in the day, everyone used it. That was a file sharing service similar to, oh God, what was the original one? I can't remember the name of the original one now. No, they didn't give out trophies back then. Napster was the original one. Thank you, Napster. They didn't give out trophies back then either. That was another thing. Seriously. How many regionals did I win? I don't remember. I know I won, what did I win? God, now I gotta try to remember. It's been so long since I even thought about this. Obviously, everyone knows about my Evo placings. Evo East, I won twice in a row. Twice in a row. The 2 times they ever did Evo East, I won. Like ECC, I don't remember at all. I literally don't remember ECC. That was East Coast Championships. I don't remember if I won that or not. Because Evo East was the big one during that time frame, and I won it 2006 and 2007. But I don't actually remember if I won ECC those years. What about when I was the only American player in the top 3 or 5? That was Evo 2005. And that was Evo Nationals. That was before there were regional tournaments. And yeah, I was 4th place. I was the top American placer, and then the top 3 were all Japanese players. It was Tokido, Onuki, and Jayan. Is that what it was? Tokido, Onuki, and Jayan, I think? I can't remember. But they were all Japanese, and they were much better than me. Right? Quite frankly, back then it was an era the Japanese players were just so much better than the American players at every fucking fighting game, no matter what. Because somehow, and don't ask me how, they were always able to play nonstop. That was their life, was like playing Street Fighter. While the Americans were like, well, yeah, we do this, but also we have jobs and we have lives, and this is kind of our fun hobby on the side. The Japanese players were like, this is me. I just play this all day. Like, how? How the fuck do you do that? Because again, there were no teams. There was no sponsorship. How the fuck? Who played? Who paid for them to play that much? I couldn't. I played as much as I humanly could while I was maintaining a job and a life, going to college, like doing all that shit all at once, and I played as hard as I could. So I did as much as I could with the means that I had. I certainly wasn't born into a wealthy family that paid my way to fly around the world and do whatever I wanted. That never happened. So I don't know, but the Japanese were like crazy fucking good. Like just I'll give you an example here about Tokido, because right now Tokido is known as one of the best in the world overall of all time, right? So in the mid 2000s, Tokido was just starting to make a name for himself in fighting games, all right? And at the time, he actually was getting into Super Turbo or the classics, like those games. I kid you not, he watched my gameplay of CE Bison. He was like, oh, I like that. And he went and practiced with CE Bison. That's Champion Edition Bison. This was in 2006 for Street Fighter 2 Anniversary Edition or Anniversary Collection, whatever it was called. I think it was AE Anniversary Edition, right? So he saw me playing with CE Bison within like a 1 month span. He learned CE Bison better than me. And this is my tournament character that I was winning tournaments with. He saw my play, he practiced with CE Bison, and he got better with the character. And then we had a mirror match of CE Bison, and he beat me because he knew a technique that I didn't know. He locked me down. I was like, how the fuck did he just do that? He was that good. But again, he didn't copy me. He saw me play with CE Bison, and he got better with the character than I ever was. That's not copying. That's actually like exceeding. Do you understand? That's the difference. It's the difference before I saw you do it. I just stole what you did. No, he actually improved upon what he saw me doing and got better with the character and kicked my ass with him. That's you can't talk shit about that. Like that's showing that he's at a different level, right? But for me, it was like, okay, so I played as much as I possibly could and I got to this level. This guy was nonstop able to play in all these tournaments and shit, learn all these new techniques and things. And keep in mind, no videos online, no streams. He did it just by playing against people, right? There you go. So anyway, like it blew me away. But again, I always ask the question. There was always certain players who were at every tournament. Justin Wong, Ricky Ortiz, Flo, 3-4 players were at every tournament in the United States. I never understood how. How could they afford to do it? And the Japanese players would literally nonstop play Street Fighter. Like that was their thing. That's all they did. I don't know how they did it. I always had to juggle my life. I had to have a full-time job to hold down to pay my bills. I was going to college. When I graduated from college, now I had all these fucking student loans and shit that I was paying. I mean, my life situation, I lived at college. I moved back in with my parents. I had an apartment. Then I moved back in with my parents again. And then finally I got my own place in like 2007. But it was like, how did these players afford to do what they were doing? I never understood it. And I'm sure maybe they all have different situations, right? I don't know. But for me, it's like I could only do as much as I possibly could with my means. And that's, I was always very limited. Was college worth it? No, not for me. But I don't think that's the case for everyone. My problem was when I went into college, I very much had a direction, and then everything changed. I went into college trying to be a computer science major, and the bubble burst, the whole tech bubble burst. So there were no jobs for computer science, and the teacher at my college who taught the courses was awful. So I had to quickly do a shift to business, and then I didn't know anyone in the business field. So I didn't have a way to get my foot in the door of any business and get a good job. So I kind of got screwed. Like if the tech bubble hadn't burst, I probably would have stuck with it, and I probably would have got a job in computer programming, and my whole life would have been different. But it all fell apart right in the middle of me getting my education for a field where there were no jobs anymore. Do I think I could have been up there with them if you played as much? If you mean the Japanese players, I don't know. It's just a hypothetical. Like, maybe, maybe not. Maybe I just didn't have what it took. I don't know. But that blew me away. Like, knowing that Tokido was always a Vega player. Because I had played him at EVO 2005, Vega mirror match, and he beat me. And I was like, shit, I made like a critical mistake that made me lose the match. And I was like, fuck, that sucks. I made one mistake and really it blew the match for me. And I always wanted to get my revenge. So then the next year, here we are, here's my chance, anniversary edition. And I'm going to play CE Bison and learn all these techniques with him. And I did. And I was the best American player with CE Bison. But hands down, I was dominating every tournament I entered. My CE Bison was unbeatable. And then I played Tokido. Oh, his is better. What the fuck? Come on. Bullshit. Had enough. But now it's too late for me to ever get my revenge. It sucks. I want my revenge on Tokido. I can never have it. It's just like I can never once again have Vinny's Pizza because Vinny's was sold to another company. Vinny's was my local pizzeria when I was a kid. They were sold to someone else. And now the pizza they make is not good. People say it's not like the original Vinny's. So it's like I can never get Vinny's Pizza again. Well, I can never get my revenge on Tokido. I have to live with that for the rest of my life. That I can never beat this man in Street Fighter. Fuck. Now, I guarantee you Tokido doesn't remember me because it was a rivalry, don't get me wrong, but it was a very short-lived rivalry. Like, I remember it was like EVO 2005, he beat me. EVO 2006, we had that match at EVO World, and he beat me. And I think in 2007, I think I played him at, like, Texas Showdown or something like that, and he beat me. And then after that, it was like he was on to other things. As soon as Street Fighter 4 came out, he played the living shit out of it. He became a prominent pro player and basically super upward trajectory in the Street Fighter community. Me, I didn't even play. I didn't care. I didn't play competitively. I didn't go to tournaments or nothing. So I just faded away and he went upward. So he probably has no clue who I am. He wouldn't remember me at all. No, I have no plans to go back to Street Fighter 6. I have no desire. I don't want to play it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't want to play it anymore. Like, I got to the point where my fun had been stifled. My fun had been just like taken away from me because everyone now had memorized this samey pattern to play. It became incredibly boring. There was no variety in the gameplay anymore. And if you're not having fun, then why play it? In truth, that first year was great. I had a lot of fun with Street Fighter 6 the first year. The second year, I had some fun, and then it started to fall away. By the time that, this third season came around and everyone plays exactly the same, it's like, fuck this game. I'm bored. I don't want to play a game where every single person I face is exactly the same person playing the same way. That's garbage. And that was it. Like every character. Oh, someone has Minot. I know exactly what she's going to do. And sometimes I'll get lucky and sometimes she'll guess right and I lose or win, depending on the guesses, And like literally that's how the tiers are established. What characters have the higher chance that they're guessing is going to pay off for them to have a giant combo or push you to the corner where then they can get you in the throw loop. It's the same. It's like literally you could draw a diagram of each character's play style, and everyone who plays that character does that. Like no one innovates or does anything different because that's the way you play the character. That's boring. To me, that's incredibly boring. Like, I want to have fun playing in a variety of ways, facing a variety of opponents. If the entire game is just a flowchart, then I don't want to play it. And that's what Street Fighter 6 has become to me. It's a flowchart. So I'm just bored to tears. I don't want to play it anymore. And understand something. If I were a top-level player playing the best players in the world, it wouldn't be a flowchart. Those people innovate. But the most people who play the game play it exactly the same. Therefore, anytime I boot up the game to play it online, I'm bored. So why do I want to bore myself? The answer is I don't. All right, guys. Well, good show. A lot of discussion today. That was a good amount of discussion. And we locked it in. So Thanksgiving Day, Pokemon stream. And then Black Friday, there's going to be some boozed up Black Ops 7, some boozed up Truck Sim. We'll do some online shopping for a controller and or we'll look for things like a desk, a chair, gaming monitors, right? That kind of stuff. And whatever else we do, there'll be Thanksgiving leftovers that day. So we have a good idea what we're doing now, and that's good, because that's what we needed to figure out today. We also chilled. We also hit our first support goal of the day. We're on our way to hitting a bonus one. Good stuff. All right, folks, thank you very, very much. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode of the Level 1 Podcast. Remember, I'll be back on Sunday. I'm not here tomorrow, but I'll see you bright and early Sunday. We'll get all caught up and hyped up for a new week coming up. Thank you guys so very much. I will see you Sunday. Peace out.